He picked up the fishing rod and casually swung it, surprisingly pulling the sun from the sky in front of him. The intense light immediately dried up the lake, and the fish inside died on the spot. In the end, the man served the delicious sun-baked fish on the dining table, but his father across the table didn't dare to take a bite because he knew his son was not normal. Not only was he simple-minded and strong, but his silly thought process was also extraordinarily bizarre. When he saw his father drinking milk, he smashed the milk bottle, and this strange behavior always gave his father a headache. So he assigned a task to his son to save a princess. Watching his son walk away, the father finally breathed a sigh of relief. Thinking he could finally take a break, meanwhile, his son had already embarked on the path to rescue the princess. After taking just a few steps, he encountered a column of lava, but he was not the least bit flustered. He grabbed the lava pillar with his bare hands and changed its direction. The next challenge was the vast ocean, which he had to cross by boat. However, rowing was obviously too much trouble, so he found a ship anchor at the bottom of the river, tossed it lightly, and he and the boat flew to the other side. The used anchor could also take care of the evil dragon. At that moment, a prey appeared in front of him, and two little birds wanted to help. They gave him a parachute. But he had no idea how to use it. Instead, he caught the two kind-hearted little birds and, riding on them, flew to the wizard's castle. The two little demons guarding the castle saw this and immediately shot at him. Could it be that the legendary fool was coming from afar? Soon, the castle activated its first level of defense, and all the little demons gathered. The leader was determined to eliminate the fool on the spot, but before he could finish his declaration of victory, the fool had already appeared behind the little demons. The other demons were too scared to flee, and the wizard, as the master, suddenly appeared. He advised the fool to stop the killing and not let innocent demons sacrifice any longer. It turned out that there was another mastermind behind the scenes. The wizard had not kidnapped the princess but was paid by someone to help the fool act. Now, just by looking through the telescope, they could find out the true culprit. Without a second thought, the fool approached, and the scene before him shocked him. It turned out that everything had been deliberately arranged by his father, and the fool had been kept in the dark all along. After learning the truth, the last two cells in the fool's brain began to spin wildly. The princess was arranged by his father, the wizard was also arranged by his father, and the goal was to distract him. What was his father's purpose in distracting him? The fool was filled with confusion and anger, then leaped from the castle, ready to demand the truth. On his way back, he passed by the actor's nest. With one hand transforming into a chainsaw, this time the fool was determined to take back everything that belonged to him. Facing the boat that had deceived him, the fool threw two punches, directly giving the opponent a black eye. Anyone who had ever deceived him was beaten up, and a little demon was kicked out of the earth. Meanwhile, the father sensed something was wrong. He stepped outside and saw that the world had changed drastically. The fool angrily walked in, and his father had no choice but to tell him the truth. It turned out that when the fool was still a child, he was incredibly strong, and as he grew older, his strength increased exponentially. So for his father, the fool had become a burden. He could only arrange for actors to accompany the fool in acting to distract him and gain comfort. After explaining, the father thought the fool would forgive him.